concept of philanthropy means to you.
So just as a quick disclaimer, we've heard from great experts and practitioners in philanthropy today. I'm not an expert in philanthropy. I'm a good student of philanthropy and someone who genuinely believes in the catalytic impact that philanthropy can have in partnership with business and government capital and networks. And that's something that's inspired me to be more active in this space over the past 20 years or so. And it's fantastic to see really the UAE becoming a hub of sorts for philanthropic activity, thought leadership, insights, networks, not just for the Middle East, but as we see now here for Asia, including in Africa as well. And I think to a large extent, you know, the so-called global south, the term which I know you're not that fond of. But for me, philanthropy, I often refer to it as the forgotten child of the capital system. It's often seen as a periphery player in many markets and regions around the world, and in some parts of the world even regarded with a high degree of suspicion, including in parts of the Middle East. And there are various socio-political reasons why that was the case, but that's also changing. The fact of the matter is philanthropy, just from a scale perspective and from a quantity perspective, is dispersed in the trillions of dollars a year. In the US alone, where we have better measurement of philanthropic output, anywhere between $500–600 billion a year. If you take just zakat and sadaqah, which of course Islamic almsgiving, between compulsory almsgiving and discretionary almsgiving, anywhere between $400 billion up to $1 trillion a year, they say. And so you add those together, plus the other pools of philanthropic capital, we could be talking about philanthropy dispersed in the order of around $2 trillion a year. And that's significant, right? If you put that into perspective, even at the $1 trillion mark, that's 3 times more than the global combined humanitarian and development aid budgets in the world. If you put it, we've just come out of COP28. If you put that in comparison with the total amount of aid or development aid that's gone from advanced economies to developing economies for climate mitigation and adaptation, that's 10 times more at the $1 trillion mark. So this is significant. But for me, the most exciting aspect of philanthropy, and more specifically strategic philanthropy, is that multiplier effect that you can generate, right? The fact, and it can do that because of unique qualities, I think, that philanthropic capital has over other pools of capital. The fact that it can be more nimble, more flexible, more risk tolerant, more equitable in its deployment, which is why when trying to address challenges, global challenges, partnering philanthropic capital, again with business and government capital, is exactly what we need to get to the scale of both capital but also ingenuity to address these big ticket global challenges, including the likes of climate and nature.